to Pillow Talk. So I'm gonna start out by saying, hey, this is a new segment. It's called Pillow Talk, basically where I choose a topic and we talk about it. And I really want these topics to be something that is like important in society, maybe something that not everybody actually wants to talk about. Now, I'm always taking my Pillow Talk suggestions in the comments below, of course. Make sure it's something I can actually talk about and still put ads at the front of my videos and all that stuff. But if you guys have any suggestions or stuff you want me to talk about, I am happy to take suggestions. So let's get this going. Alright, so the topic I want to talk about the most today, or the topic we will be talking about today, is actually body positivity and body shaming. I want to say like body shaming. It's shaming someone else because of something that they have no control over. And that is something that I feel like we all just as humans naturally find ourselves like criticizing people, not maybe purposely like in an intent to be mean to somebody, but we all have those judgmental thoughts, I guess you could say. Like I know that this is kind of obviously a personal subject. This is mature content, guys. Like, we're talking about real stuff here, so if you can't take this, then don't watch this video. But I want to talk about body shaming on people's private parts, man. Like, I will tell you, I have a story, but it's like body shaming people's private parts. So rude. Mostly just because you have no control over that. Like, you're born how you're born. Literally, and you develop how you develop it, that you have nothing mentally, you can't think really hard, you're like, make my boobs bigger, please. Like, trust me. For, I think, 4 years in a row, before my birthday, the night before my birthday, night before my 13th birthday, 14th birthday, 15th birthday, and 16th birthday, I remember I wish that I would wake up with boobs. It never happened. And I got called flat-chested like all growing up. They're like, oh, Karen, you don't even have any. I was the leader of the itty bitty titty committee. I took that title. Of course, it's also a maturity thing. Like, duh, when you're 16, you're not gonna think, oh, how is this gonna affect that person when I say this? But you hearing this now maybe will make you rethink what you say to somebody tomorrow, what you say to somebody in a month, what you say to yourself, how do you view yourself? You know, how you want to be and all that stuff. So one of my good friends was with a guy and she said that he was so super sweet, but he had a really tiny penis. And unfortunately, there's absolutely nothing that he can do about that for the most part. Nothing naturally that he can do about that. And I mean, for you, like, to be shaming a guy on that kind of thing anyway almost means you're in the wrong, like makes you look bad, at least I would think. You know how girls, like, you break up with your boyfriend and you're like, oh, I had a small dick, and you're like saying that to your friends as you're like conversating with your friends, and you're like, oh, he has a small dick, nobody will ever want him. Like, dang, that guy's got enough trouble as it is. Like, give him a little break. If he's got a small dick, like, dang, that is not his fault. That is not his fault. So don't shame him for it. Like, same with me. I had this experience when oh my gosh, 9th grade. I'm just gonna throw this out there. 9th grade. So I was 16, 15, 16. So the guy that I was with for the first time, you know, me being young and naive in high school, all this shit, you know, you do what they would tell you to, and that's because you have no control of your life. Now, each girl is different. Me as a 16-year-old girl, this guy I really liked was giving me attention, was like, hey, I want to have sex, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do that because that's what you want and I want to please you, and that's just like the 16-year-old girl mentality. So anyway, you know, that happened, and then he cheated on me 2 weeks later with an ugly girl in band class. I was like, that's cool. Anyway, heartbroken. So he gets in trouble somehow. The dude gets in trouble somehow and ends up in ISS, which is like in-school suspension. And a week later, because I guess he was in there for a week and I didn't see him because he was like in-school suspension or whatever. So a week later, I hear this rumor that's spreading around within our friends, and this kid that has never even seen my vagina, never even dated him, said that my vagina looked like a dog's saggy neck. I'm trying to picture that right now. I've been picturing it for the last 10 years actually, because it has haunted me for the last 10 years. Something so little as a guy that hadn't even seen it. And I don't even know if this is true or not, but listen, I heard it, and he was in school suspension with that guy with the guy that I lost it to, basically, and he cheated on me. So he must have heard it from him, and he must have been like spreading it around ISS or whatever. Anyway, so that stuck with me my entire life, like literally into this, not really to this day. I'm kind of over it now because one, I'm mature, and two, I went to the doctor and they told me I was fine. But anyway, but he said my vagina looked like a dog's second neck, and that is so mean, and that is something that has scarred me, and that was something that was unnecessary. Like something that you didn't have to say, because obviously all vaginas are, they're not ugly. All vaginas are different. Every single one of them is different. So if he's expecting a labia-free vagina, you're gonna get that with a porn star, and that's basically it. Like, so making fun of people's bodies and genitals and something that you have absolutely no control over, you do not know how that's going to affect somebody. And I'm totally fine with it now, but it's just kind of something I can laugh at now because I've moved past it. But man, don't make fun of people's body parts. Like, don't make fun of their genitalia, don't make fun of your boobs. Like, I had a girl, one of my good friends, growing up that had one boob that was way bigger than the other. Like, way bigger. And it's just something that your body does. Like, actually one side of your body is like bigger than the other side because it grows at different rates. So like my right side of my body, this side, or your right, whichever, my right side is longer. So this boob is bigger than that one, because that's just how it goes. But anyway, that was something that she couldn't handle, and she got picked on all the time for it because kids are so mean. And you know what is the scariest part? Adults are mean too, and that's where they get it from. As adults, we know better. You know what I mean? Next thing I want to talk about is the image of yourself. So of course, now that I am 27, now that I'm 27, I really have a good grasp on how I feel about my body and like what I don't like, what I do like, and all that stuff. And I really find myself being like, you know what? I have nothing to complain about. And I really try and keep in mind when I do have something that I am not happy with my body, is that somebody would kill to have my body. No matter what size you are, somebody wants your body somewhere. And that's because, I mean, we really just, you know, we find ways to knock ourselves down. You're like, oh, I got a cellulite dimple on my butt cheek right in the middle. And you're like, you know what? It's just winking at you. It's okay. You know? Because cellulite really doesn't go away anyway, so you're fucked no matter what. But just being a little bit easier on ourselves, because no matter what, you're always gonna want to change something. Like, oh, my arms are flabby, I gotta get them nice and shaped. You're like pumping iron and stuff, and you get them into shape, and then you're like, oh, my arms are great now. And then you're like, oh, wait, but I have fat ankles, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about that unless you want to get an ankle reduction, which I don't know that they even do that sort of a thing. But just saying, you're gonna find something no matter what, because it's human nature. So it's either one thing or it's something else. So try and be like, you know what? I got a dimple on my ass cheek, and every time I turn around, it's winking at you. You know, it's winking at you under your pants or something. Like, find some sort of funny way to cope with. And if it is something you can do, which is your weight, stop complaining about it and actually do it. I have lost 15 pounds since January, and I totally changed my diet. I started exercising 4 to 5 days a week. A long time I was doing 5, but really I was running and being on my knees a lot, and I'm getting old, and I've worked retail for 12 years. So being on my knees a lot, being on my feet a lot has actually really messed with my body. But find something that works for you. Like, I started running and just watching what I was eating, and I lost 15 pounds. Like, if you want to do something, you can. It just is how bad you actually want to do it. Not something that you can just do for 2 weeks. Like, I remember I had first started doing it. I'm on week 22 by the way, right now. But I remember one guy was like, oh, how long are you gonna do that for? And I was like, what do you mean, how long am I gonna do this for? He was like, how long? What's your weekly goal progress thing, whatever? And I was just like, this is forever. Like, this is for life. And you have to think about it like that, because if you make it like a diet is a 2-week thing, and then you stop, you're not continuing doing anything. You're not gonna see those results you want to see, which is why people get so bogged down by shit. So you just gotta make it work for you. Tomorrow never comes, especially when it comes to something that's difficult for you to do, or changing habits, which is all it is changing habits. Even if I don't like something right now, I think it's really important to love yourself during every single step of that process, whether that mean you cutting out your sodas, and that's the only thing you do to help you get to a healthier place mentally and physically about yourself. But just finding a way to be okay with and love yourself in the moment. Because I feel like if we are constantly being like, oh, well, I'll feel better about myself when this happens and when this happens. That might never happen. So still love yourself right now. You're like, you know what, I'm a 10 right now. I'm still hoping to lose another 30 pounds to get into my healthy my healthy goal weight. But I still love the way I look right now. I'm gonna love the way I look in a week, in a month, in a year, because I'm trying to love myself always at every single stage of my life, because there is going to be a time, and I think I'm going to blow up when I have kids, that I may not be the size. And I feel like we've all done this, like in high school. I don't know, I was thinner in high school. Some people are bigger and then they lose it and yada yada. But I was thinner in high school, and I just remember thinking I was so fat. I was so fat when I weighed 135 pounds. And yeah, and I looked amazing. I looked amazing. So anyway, that concludes the video. I am eager for my next topic to talk about, so you guys should leave it in a comment below what the hell you want me to talk about. Yes! So this is Pillow Talk, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!